Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Somewhat Accurate, a podcast where me and my friend Mark talk about random shit and very interesting shit. There was no episode last week, as you may have noticed, but we were both very busy and we didn't get time to record and put one out. So that doesn't matter though. We're here now. We're back, and oh baby, we got a humdinger for you. Just wanted to record this as a little forewarning. In this one, Mark tells me about some insane stuff that happened in the black metal music industry in the 90s, and just some trigger warnings that we do talk about murder, self-harm, suicide, and some anti-religious stuff. So if any of that isn't your thing, maybe give this one a miss, but if not, sit back, enjoy, and catch you again next week. Hopefully we'll have a bit more of a lighthearted one next week, but we shall see. Enjoy.
Whack. That's the sound of me hitting the record button. Whack. So just so you know, when I send this to you later, that's when we start.
So we sync it up. Whack.
Whack. Oh fuck. Oh Jesus. Super
I
pro.
didn't know Audacity shows you disk space remaining. I have 259 hours left. At all?
I have 48 hours.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Hannah's got a lot on her hard drive.
Yeah, it's mostly games that I've downloaded and I've just left there. To be honest.
So you
Steam
you've
sales.
been playing Splitgate.
I have been playing Splitgate. It's so good. I've been playing it on the PS4.
You're
It's
a little bit hooked.
Oh, I'm so hooked. I'm like, as you rightly said, you're like, oh, I didn't think of you as a like FPS guy. I'm really not. I'm also like not competitive in any way, shape, or form. I don't give a fuck about winning. I just wanna play a game, relax a little bit. And it's the same with Splitgate. I'm just like, hey, I'm having a good time. So like, normally if I'd be like trying, like if I play Dark Souls or something, I'm like hunched over with the controller, like really focusing. With Splitgate, I literally have my feet up. I'm like barely looking at the screen. My neck is like 90 degrees towards the fucking TV. I'm like, oh, this is fun. But I just keep I'm somehow good at it. I think it's because you're able to just set up your portals and then just fucking stand there and shoot people. It's so good.
Man, I'm actually a bastard for that. I set up portals and I just aim through the portals and just keep shooting.
Yeah. That's
Catch
what
them
I
off
do.
guard.
And it's like,
It's so fun.
yeah, but it doesn't seem like most people do that. Most people are just running around the maps like it's COD or something, and they're just getting fucking picked off. And I'm like, I move maybe like 3 meters for the entirety of the game.
Yep. There's no better way to like relax than kill children online. Am I right?
Oh, it's so good.
Murder
Okay,
children.
so I got PS Plus because I wanted to play some more online games, and that's the only way that you can play online, which is really annoying. Okay. But anyway, and one of the new games that they have on PS Plus for this month is Predator Hunting Grounds, like the like 80s movie Predator.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's an online game where it's like 4 people are playing as these Marine guys, and there's one player's playing as the Predator who's hunting them down, trying to kill them while they're doing their mission and stuff. Such a cool idea. Fun. It is fun. But I booted that up and I was like, oh hell yeah, Predator, 1980s, super macho, masculine, hyper violent game. Fuck yeah, let's play this. And I booted into the lobby and was greeted by like 6 children like screaming down the mic.
Squeakers.
Yeah, loads of squeakers. And I was like, oh fuck. And like they were doing that really annoying thing that like you did when you were a kid where you'd like sing into the mic and have like music on in the background and stuff. It was just
yeah.
Oh, stop, please.
Just sounds like they're in a full restaurant kitchen in the background, like.
Yeah, exactly. So I just like blank muted everything. I actually turned off all the options for sound. I was just like, nope.
Mute the game.
We're just going into this. Yeah, just mute. Fuck this. I'm done. But I played the game and it was quite fun.
Yeah, like the idea of it sounds really fun, and it's a free game on the PSN now, is it?
On PS Plus, yeah. I don't know. It was
Plus
for
version.
September, so it's probably not free anymore. Maybe they've updated it. There's also Hitman 2, which I have downloaded
Ooh.
but haven't played yet. But I'm looking forward to it because Hitman is it's a really funny game, despite the fact that
Mhm.
it's really violent.
I think that's the one that I have. But yeah, Hitman 2. But careful, because did they give you all the episodes or just like one episode? Because sometimes the Hitman was like that, where it just has like one episode.
Oh, well, on the shop it was saying that it's worth €55, so I would assume that's more than
Okay,
one
yeah,
episode.
I'd hope so. Yeah, but
Yeah.
those games are really fun. I only ever played 2, and I only have played a couple of missions in it because I only got it
Oh,
like a
really?
couple of months ago when it was on sale, and it's so much fun. You just do
Yeah.
so many different things, so many different ways. You can kill
To
people
get
with
to the
fish if you
end,
want.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I've
so.
seen that. I watched these guys on YouTube who like did their whole playthrough by killing people with like cans of soup. That's the only way they do it. It was so good.
What else?
So I'm greatly looking forward to that.
What else have you gotten on the Steam sale? Oh yeah, there's been loads of Steam sales recently.
Do you know, I haven't actually downloaded anything on Steam in a while. Purely, like all the stuff that's sitting on Anna's hard drive is from like last year that I just haven't down or like deleted or anything. So,
Mm-hmm.
but the other game that I've been playing is Aliens Fireteam. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah,
So
that's
that's
only
been
new, isn't
really
it?
good. It is, yeah. It came out like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. That's been a load of fun as well. Just like shooting down a bunch of bugs as your colonial marines. It's so good. Been enjoying
What do you play that on?
Again, PS4.
Oh okay, I thought that was a PC only game for some reason. Because I was looking into
No.
getting it, but um, it's like you're in a squad of 4, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Or something like that.
there's three. You're in a squad of 3 players. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking about getting that to play on stream, but I know I wouldn't be able to run it. But now that I'll have an actual good PC,
Well, you'll
I
have
might
the
be able
new
to play it.
PC coming. You could totally do it. Yeah, but it looks it is a pretty good looking game, but it's from like I don't want to say an indie studio, but it's like a lesser known studio.
Okay.
So it's not
Yeah.
like super huge budget. It's like I think it's like €35 or something. It still
Mhm.
looks pretty good, but I'd say you could probably run it at like lower settings on the computer you have now.
That's something to think about. Is it a story based game, or is it like a kind of like Horde? You remember Horde in Gears of War, where it was like you're just have to
Yeah,
fend off a lot of things each round?
you have an option. You if you complete the game, you unlock the horde option. But
So there is a story.
it is a story game. Yeah,
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah. It's a story game with one cutscene in the whole thing, and the cutscene is like 5 seconds long.
Oh, okay. Damn. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. But no, it's really good. They do most of it through like you find audio files and you're listening to people on your headset, that kind of crack.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. So
I'm
I
surprised they
would
haven't come out with like a Blade
recommend.
Runner game.
Would you believe they did do a Blade Runner game in 1997?
Oh hell yeah! On what,
All
like
the
a
way back
GameCube
in
or
the
something?
day. It was just on PC. It was a point and click adventure game.
Ooh.
It's quite cool actually. It looks great even for like being a 1997 game because it's like they kind of roll with that like it's Blade Runner. It's supposed to be all dark and like gritty and stuff, and they kind of roll with that with the graphics because like it kind of looks like shit, but it kind of works for it. If you get me, it's
Okay,
a
yeah,
weird
I
one.
get you. Did you play it?
I haven't played it. What I did do is I watched a. If you go on YouTube and you just type in like any game movie, they have it with like all the cutscenes and a guy who's just like
Oh
blasting through
yeah,
the
yeah.
game. So I watched that in work one day and I was like, oh, this is sick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose Cyberpunk was probably the closest thing to it
Yeah.
recently. Anyway,
Recently, definitely, yeah. There
they should
are a
definitely
good
bring out another
few.
one.
Yeah, there are a good few like smaller indie games that are kind of like touching the whole cyberpunk thing, but not explicitly Blade Runner. Except for they do have a mobile game that's out that is complete fucking dog shit. It's
Trash,
so bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
can
looks fucking
imagine.
terrible. So it's like
Mobile game.
you play through essentially Blade Runner 2049, a movie that came out 4 years ago, and they've just released a mobile game for it, and it's like, bro, come on, what are you doing?
I thought it would be like a promotional thing, but if you're saying they only
Yeah,
brought it out
right.
recently,
Yeah, they literally brought it out this year, maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. It looks like absolute shite.
oh yeah, I'm looking at it. It does look like trash.
What about you? Have you been playing anything new?
I've been really into the South Park games recently.
You have.
Uh,
I've seen that.
They're so fun, man. They're just like I don't watch South Park. I used to when I was younger or whatever. I've
Yeah,
had no desire to want to watch it or whatever. It's just, but now that I'm playing the games, it's basically an RPG game in the
yeah,
world. So it's kind of nostalgia as well for me, having
yeah, totally.
running around fucking South Park and interacting with all the big characters and everything with a crazy storyline and
Yeah.
like insane missions and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
I've watched some of the like YouTube playthroughs. It seems
Mhm.
absolutely ridiculous, but in a good way.
Yeah, no, it is. That's all it is. Like it's just, and it, like there's times where you're actually laughing out loud at the story, which
Oh,
is
that's great.
surprising.
That's not something.
Because
Yeah, it's nothing you get in games, really.
no, and then they have combat now, and the combat is really well done and stuff. It's
Great.
like a turn-based combat system. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, great.
So I started the newer one, which came out. I can't remember when it came out. Only a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah,
And yeah, I've gotten sucked into it now.
sweet. Nice
Other
one.
than that, me and Gabby played a game called Simulacra.
Mm-hmm.
If you've heard of that, I think we
I
probably told you about it actually.
think so. It's a detective game or something, isn't it? Something like that.
Kind of, yeah. It's like a mystery, solve what happened game. Like you found a
Yeah.
phone belonging to some girl and she's gone missing, and you're messaging people on her phone,
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
trying to
Sounds
go through
cool.
her phone to figure out what happened to her and stuff. You're trying to track down where she was, and yeah, it was pretty fun.
Nice
We
one.
finished it there the other day, and there's a second one we're going to play as well.
Oh hell yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's a fun game to just sit down, have some drinks, and play.
That sounds really similar to a game. I can't for the life of me remember. It's probably on my Steam account, but it was a weird game, as though there were no graphics in it. It was all videos. So you were basically, again, you were trying to solve a murder, but it was
Okay.
all via interrogation footage, and you like click through the footage
Oh.
to play the videos of this woman. It's only one woman in the entire thing, one actress, and you like click what the questions she was given, and then you have to like guess whether she was lying and stuff like this. So it actually
Oh
like
shit.
yeah, it was great. It had you like had to have a notebook and kind of write down clues and stuff as she was saying it. Like her eye twitches when she's asked this question or something like. Oh, it's so good.
That's really cool, actually. Yeah, because it makes you
Yeah.
fucking. It's pretty much you doing detective work from actual.
In reality, yes.
That's
Yeah.
that's very cool.
It was cool. I'll see if I can find the name for it and send it to you later, because I would recommend it. Real good.
Hell yeah. Other than that, actually, started replaying. Fucking, I don't know if you played any of the Grand Theft Auto games, but started playing the
Mhm.
fourth one again, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
With how old? I think it's fucking. Well, like the most recent Grand Theft Auto was about 8 years old now, I think.
Yeah, it was what, like 2012, 2013, something.
Yeah, so then the fourth one must have come out in like 2008 or something, so that's a long time ago, but it's still
Yeah.
really good. Nico
Nice one.
Bellic.
Cool. Was it just called Grand Theft Auto 4, or did it have like a little bit at the end?
No, just Grand Theft Auto 4.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know, I never really got into them. I obviously, like, when you're a kid and you go over to your friend's house and they're like, let's boot up Grand Theft Auto. Like, I did all that, but I never bought it myself. Like, I always remember that. You just go over to your friend's house and just, like, watch him, like, beat up hookers. That was just the thing you did when you were a child.
You use hookers for their services, then you beat them up and get your money back.
And
That's
yeah,
all
your money
that's all
back.
you do.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
To this day, I reckon if you handed me a controller on San Andreas, I'd still be able to do or remember some of the cheats to like
Some
get
of
a
the
full
cheats.
weapon presets and stuff.
Yeah, like up, down, right, left,
Mhm.
triangle, square, all that kind of shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I definitely would like guess one or two of them just from fucking muscle memory.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you've been blasting through that on the computer, is it?
Yeah, because I bought a couple of years ago. I think I bought. It was like a GTA package where you got like all of them pretty much.
Nice.
So, but I never actually got around to playing them.
Yeah,
So
it
then
was
I
probably
like,
on
you know
sale
what?
or something.
Yeah, I had a good time playing 4 before, so I'm gonna boot it up and try it. And
Nice
I
one.
have a lot of fun with it.
Hey, that's great. Yeah.
Other than that, have you seen anything to do with this Squid Game?
Oh, funny you should ask. Yes, me and Anna have been watching it.
Oh, you've started watching it, have you?
Yeah, we just finished the second episode yesterday. Have you seen it?
No, I think I want to start it.
Oh, you should, man. It's so good.
It's dubbed, isn't it, or is it subtitled?
I don't know.
Good
We're
choice.
watching it. We're watching it subtitled. There probably is a
Okay.
dubbed option. Can you not handle subtitles? You don't like
Oh
to
no,
read?
I just wasn't sure. Oh no, we watch everything. Everything we watch, we have subtitles on, which
Okay,
is
that's
weird.
great. Yeah, so do we. No, absolutely. If it's in English, if it's got subtitles. Fuck it. I want
Yeah.
to know exactly what these fuckers are saying.
So what? You're 2 episodes in?
2 episodes in, and I would definitely recommend it. It is really, really good. It's very it kind of skirts the line between being comedic and skirt between being comedic and like super fucking depressing. It's
Oh,
there's a fine line there. Yeah, and they like skirt it very
okay.
very closely, I think. But it's very like visually stunning. And yeah, the actors and the characters and stuff in it, like top notch.
Yeah, because I saw so much to do with it. I saw it everywhere, and I was like, "What the fuck
Mhm.
is this Squid Game? Is this like another anime or something?" And then
Yeah.
only after a week of hearing about it, I looked up what it was, and just a little synopsis is so good.
It is.
Uh,
It's really, really good.
Okay, yeah, okay, you've sold it to me now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably like me. I kind of wanted to watch it because I had been bombarded on Instagram of pictures of being like, this is gonna be my new Halloween costume, and it's like a picture of the guys in the like purple getup with the thing with the mask on. I was like, what the fuck is this? This looks silly. I'm gonna watch
Oh
it.
yeah,
And then we were just like, oh, hot damn, this is great.
Still, I think unbeatable is for Halloween costume every year from now on should be Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad. Just saying.
Oh no! Oh, how would you
Just
even
paint
do
a lot
that?
of ha-has around you.
Yeah, you have to get like fucking fake tattoos all over your face and stuff.
Hell yeah,
Hell yeah, man.
I'd do it. Actually,
Yeah, I mean,
when
you
did
should.
Joker come out? With
Joker came out
Joaquin
20. I want to say 2019. Yeah, it
'Cause
was. It would have been December-ish 2019.
Because I can't recall any Halloween pictures of people dressed up as him. Because like whenever there's a new Joker, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
what everyone dresses up as.
That's just the
But
done thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose we missed it in 2020, so it'll be this year.
Did you
Probably
watch
see
the
them all.
Joker, Jamie?
The Joaquin Phoenix one, yeah.
The Yes. Did you have a little hee hoo at the part where he said we live in a society? Because I know I did. I don't know how they like actually put that in the movie unironically, and I was like, oh fucking hot damn! He said the thing.
Is that from something originally, or is it just a meme?
I think it's just a meme. I think it's just a meme that people have like put a picture of Heath Ledger's Joker on it and been like, we live in a society. And then they fucking put it in the real movie.
Oh god, yeah.
I hope it was I really hope it was just like a, I don't know, some meme lord behind the scenes was just like, you know, it'd be fucking gas if he actually said it.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of movies, I went to see Candyman yesterday. Me and Gabby went to see it.
Oh, very good. I've only seen literal like advertisements on buses and stuff. Like I haven't seen a trailer or anything, so I don't know anything about it. What's it like?
It was good. Like we both enjoyed it, but it was nothing special.
Right.
I'd be a big fan of Jordan Peele's movies. The last two were pretty good. Like Get Out and
Get Out.
Us.
Yeah, Us. Yeah.
I really enjoyed them, so I was like, oh, it's gonna be fucked up and it's gonna be good. But this one was like,
Mm-hmm.
it was good. It was good spook movie, I guess.
Okay.
But again, nothing special. There's like the cinematography in his movies are really good because there's always one or two shots that stand out to me, and obviously from Get Out, it's the one where the camera's like close up to his face and he's just staring there. Do you remember that shot?
Yes, I do.
And he
know
like
that
starts
one,
crying. I think
Yeah.
that's fucked. But there's one shot in Candyman, which I thought was done really well. I won't spoil anything, but like basically,
Okay.
the shot is looking at an apartment window, and something's happening in the apartment, and it's like zooming out.
Zoomed
almost
out.
like
I get it.
It's slowly going out and out, so it's getting further away, but you can still just about make out what's going on in the apartment. It's really cool.
Oh, grim. That does sound cool. Yeah, nice one.
But yeah, it's basically about this man called the Candyman who, if you say his name looking in the mirror 5 times, he comes and kills you for no reason.
Fair enough. So it's literally Bloody Mary, but it's called Candyman.
Yeah, although I think there was some, I don't know, maybe I didn't pick up properly, but I think there's some history to do with the Candyman that like it was a black man from the projects that the police beat to death.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
And so he like, I guess his memory is still around and he takes revenge or something. I don't know. He takes revenge
Something
on
like
society, some shit. Yeah.
So is there going to be like a new photograph of like the character from Candyman, except the meme font is "We live in a society with him"?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, Gabs just had to point out that there was like an origin story of a painter dude, who's the original Candyman was a painter man hired by a rich family to do portraits for them, and then he fell in love with a white female. It was a black man. He fell in love with a white female, and then he was chased out of town and killed in a very horrific way. So
Jesus.
It's like carrying on from that.
Nice one.
It's very cool though.
Very good. Yeah, sounds good. I might it's been one of them that, as I said, I've seen the ads and I'm like, hey, I might like to watch that. So I might go to the cinema and see that at some point.
Yeah, we were torn between that and, have you seen anything to do with Malignant?
No, I haven't.
Malignant looks pretty spooky as well. I can't recall what it's about though. I did watch the trailer, but I can't remember. It's just spooky.
Spookerific.
And you've no interest in James Bond or anything, do you?
No. So
yeah,
my dad is a huge James Bond fan, and like I've seen all the movies because they were just on in the house when I was a kid. And whenever I call him, he's like, "And Mark, have you gone to see the new James Bond movie?" And I'm like, and maybe next week." But in my head, I'm like, I can't stand James Bond, man. It's just not my thing.
It's not my thing either. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. I may have seen a couple of the Pierce Brosnan ones actually.
Yeah.
Or who else is Bond? Sean Connery, I think, wasn't he? Well, that's very old.
Yeah, in the 60s.
I think Pierce Brosnan is the only Bond that I would have seen properly.
Yeah. Have you not seen any of Daniel Craig's stuff, the new lad?
No.
Well, the new lad, he's been doing it for like 15 years.
That long? Jesus.
It's something like that, yeah.
Fuck, how many movies has he done?
5, maybe?
Fuck. Because this is his
Something
last
like
one,
that.
right?
This is his last one before, yeah. He's calling it quits.
Bond did Daniel Craig do. Who do you think is going to be the next one? Just talks about a couple of people.
I don't know. Have you heard about the whole controversy that like people are trying to be like, hey, it'd be cool if James Bond was like black or if he was a woman or something, and then some people are like really annoyed by that. They're like, no, he has to be a white man.
It goes against everything
yeah
that he stands for and all this shit. Like, whoa, man, calm down.
Yeah, just fucking chill out. It's a shitty movie franchise that people haven't cared about for a long time. Stop.
Yeah, I think there's talk of Idris Elba, and he'd
That'd
be
be
great Bond,
sick.
I think.
That'd be so fucking cool. I'd like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
as I said,
think
I'd like that.
Sauce-
I don't care about the
Was it?
movies, so I probably wouldn't even watch it still.
Oh no. Hang on, my headphones just died, so you're out
No,
loud.
it's okay.
There we go. Talk.
Bep, 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 bep.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, there we go, man. Very good, very good. Right. We're 24 minutes in. I guess we should probably. We always do this. We should probably start talking about what we actually were going to talk about.
Yeah, I should probably start what this is going to be about.
Should probably fucking start. Cool. So I think to start off with, this is going to be about music. This is going to be something that's very, very near and dear to my heart as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
But first off, just to get a contrast, I want to know, Jamie, when you were like 13, 14, what was your go-to music? Like, what were you infatuated by as that stage as a teenager?
Actually, a band that I've only recently revisited very heavily is Muse. So I was listening to them very heavily then.
Nice. Yeah.
And Foo Fighters were a big one as well.
Mm-hmm. That was your kind of jam.
Yeah, just rock, generic rock, or I liked a bit of pop punky stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have been listening to All Time Low back in those days.
So that's all
The
very
Boys.
like contemporary with the time. It would have been like late 2000s kind of vibes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So when Jamie was listening to Muse and Foo Fighters, little old fucking 13, 14-year-old Mark for some reason was obsessed with black metal. Don't know why. I don't really remember how this happened. I don't remember how I got into it, but at that stage, like, black metal was my fucking like lifeblood. I knew everything about it. I would constantly listen to all of the records and just like learn all the history about all of these guys that haven't really been making music for like 20 years. They were all in like their early 90s. And for some reason, I latched onto that and was like, this is the fucking coolest shit ever.
To someone who doesn't know the difference, because me, for example, what's the difference between metal and black metal?
So, metal as a whole is kind of like a very broad term. Like, people who would listen to metal would kind of generally say that there's not one answer to that. They're subdivided into subcategories.
So it's like genres and subgenres kind of thing?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, like, when you think of metal, like, people would be like, oh yeah, like Iron Maiden, Metallica. But like, even if you look at those two guys, they're very, very different music.
Yeah.
But I think when people hear metal, that's the kind of thing that instantly comes to mind. They're like, oh yeah, Metallica and Iron Maiden and shit like that. Whereas black metal is a subgenre of metal music that just goes way too fucking far. No one asked you to go there. You didn't need to do that, but you did. So I guess we're here. Normal metal music has like guitar solos and like heavy drums and like some kind of like singing in it somewhere. Whereas and it's generally quite high quality most of the time, is like good production value. Sorry, I'm just gonna stop for a sec. Someone's ringing the doorbell. I'll be back.
Go ahead.
Oh, apologies for that. That's very annoying. But anyway, right, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Black metal is like that metal that you're just like, okay, you're gone too far. You don't, or there's no need for this. And metal has like good singing and stuff.
That's the one. Yeah. So normal metal music, for what people generally think of, guitar solos, like people can play their instruments quite well. There's some form of singing in it. Black metal kind of throws all that shit out the window, and it's like it's like these horrible scratchy guitars, really, really poor production value, like literally sounds like it's recorded in a shed, and there's like little to no there's little to no singing in it as well. It's this horrible like high-pitched shrieking is what most of it is.
Is black metal known for or is pig squealing in black metal? Is that what that's known for?
No, pig squealing is in certain kinds of like death metal, like brutal death metal and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a whole that's a whole other topic right there, my friend.
Okay.
But yeah, as a fucking teenage child, I was enamored by this shit, and there's all this history behind it as well. The characters from the 90s, when they were making all this music, they also did lots of horrible things. Some of them went to jail for arson, for burning churches. Some of them went to jail for murder. Some of them had horrible political ideals. Like, there were some like full-on Nazi dudes. Like, there were, as a whole, they had kind of a bad vibe going for them. There were some absolutely lovely people within it as well, but as a whole, they didn't do themselves any good.
Didn't give the subgenre a good reputation, kind of thing.
No, and that is just fascinating to me. There's so many documentaries and books written about this very, very short time period in the early 90s, from like 1991 to 1994. There was this string of albums being released. It's mainly based in Norway, in Oslo in Norway, which is where the main scene gets called the Norwegian black metal scene. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's like the most important part of the world where this was kind of taking place in the early 90s. But yeah, at that point there was a string of albums being released, and so much crime being committed by these like small group of dudes in Oslo. Like, normally you think of Norway, you think of, oh yeah, they're quite nice and polite little lads, but something fucking weird happened in the 90s. I don't know, someone slipped something in the water supply and made them go nuts. I don't know.
Was that a thing for like black metal groups? Would they have been a big drug community or whatever?
No. Would you believe that most of them were anti-drugs? And
really?
They were just like, yeah, they're like, the drug and alcohol scene wasn't, to the best of my knowledge anyway, as we say on all of these things, this is somewhat accurate. I don't 100% know, but from what I've seen, like, the main vocalist from this band called Gorgoroth, his name is Gal, and his big thing was, he was like, yeah, I'm anti-drugs, that's fucking stupid, you should just like use your brain, idiots.
Yeah, okay, use your brain and light churches on fire instead.
yeah, exactly. So there's the two kind of waves of black metal. There's one in the early 1980s, which was like kind of more thrash metal, which it was kind of almost satirization use of like satanic imagery and stuff. They're like, ooh, shock horror, there's like a pentagram here, and we've got blood on stage and things like that. And it was very like thrash metal kind of sounding. So they'd have all these mad guitar solos and guitars go dig 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 the whole time. Very much stage performance kind of thing. And they didn't really buy into the whole Satanism thing. It was there for pure shock horror. But then, as I said, something happened in the late 80s, early 90s in Norway when they were like, oh, hell yeah, let's have another wave of black metal. So it was called the Second Wave, where a bunch of these bands like Burzum, Mayhem, Gorgoroth, what are they called?
A name, Gorgoroth.
Yeah. So,
sounds like a biblical demon.
Would you believe, Jamie, that lots of these black metal guys were heavily inspired by the Lord of the Rings?
Really?
So Gorgoroth, if you know, is the plains in Mordor, just before the Mountain of Doom. Yeah, and lots of their songs are written about Lord of the Rings. Same with Burzum, who is a one-man band. Burzum actually means darkness in the Black Speech of Mordor in Lord of the Rings.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of Burzum before, actually.
Yeah, so Burzum was actually
from
my yeah, he probably is for me. He's my favorite of all of these guys.
Okay.
It's a one-man solo project by this guy called Varg Vikernes, who is the fucking forefront of all of these crimes that happened in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
And also he was a fucking huge Lord of the Rings nerd. He renamed himself, like his stage name or whatever was Count Grishnak, which is from Lord of the Rings. Like, you know, in Lord of the Rings where there's that horrible orc when he goes, "What about their legs? They don't need those." That's Grishnak.
Oh, Jesus.
So this dude like named himself after him. But
Just a bunch of nerds.
They were a bunch of nerds, man. I'm telling you. If you at the moment go onto Google and type in like Norwegian black metal scene and just have a look at them, there are all of these like pasty white dudes with really long hair, and they're really skinny, wearing all these leathers and like holding fucking maces and torches and stuff. Like, all of these bros were just out like role playing the whole time.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But that was a big part of the scene. It was like you dress up in all of this like face paint, this black and white face paint. You'd have like basically nails and stuff coming out of your wrists, and you'd be all in like leathers and things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was a big thing to go out. You'll probably see on some of those images, it was a big thing to go out into the Norwegian forest and like prance around and shit, holding like swords and like dressing up like witches and shit. Playing. Yeah, it's literally like just role playing.
Cosplay.
Boys.
Yeah, boys cosplaying in the woods together.
plotting a few crimes. But yeah, so this whole scene revolved around this group called the Inner Circle, would you believe, of these lads in Oslo. They had a record store that would just sell metal music and like black metal music and stuff, called Helvete, which is Norwegian for hell. So think about how edgy that is.
Yeah, it's pretty edgy, man. It's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, I have a shop. What's it called? Yeah, it's called Hell. I'm that cool.
Helvete.
Helvete. But yeah, so these dudes, they would meet up in the basement of Helvete, and they'd just kind of hang out and just like talk about music and like fucking Satanism and shit like that. Do each other's
makeup, things like that.
Do each other's makeup, braid their hair, shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking sit around and talk about their crushes, things like that, you know?
Exactly. Normal black metal things.
But yeah, and Helvete was owned by this guy called Euronymous.
Okay.
His real name I'm not going to pronounce because it's Norwegian and I don't want to offend anyone. But he owns this record shop called Hell, and produced and released most of the black metal that was happening at that time in Norway. So, okay. And it was all their friends. So like their friends would go out, they'd record something, they'd give it to Euronymous, and he would like sell it in his shop and stuff like that, and get the word out and things like that. And Euronymous also played in this band called Mayhem, which were one of I don't know if you've heard of them, but they were one of the biggest black metal bands like in the world. And Mayhem had some really interesting characters. They're kind of the crux that brings everything together. All of these different black metal characters is like Mayhem is the nucleus that brings them all together.
Okay. They're the core.
They're the core, yeah. So first off, you have Euronymous, the guy who owns the record shop that's distributing all of his friends' music, basically, and he plays guitar. There's also a guy called Dead. His name is Pell Olin, and his nickname was like his stage name was Dead. And he is a fascinating character, a tragically fascinating character in my mind. He's the vocalist of the band in the late 80s, early 90s. And Dead's whole thing was like just being nuts, like stage presence wise. He would go out of the way to like be extreme to like the audience and like to people around him and stuff. So his friends would describe him as this very like introverted and quite depressed individual, and he would do some strange things before shows. He used to sleep in like in his bed, he would have soil and dirt over him in his bed, to give this smell. He wanted his clothes. he would sleep in his clothes, and he wanted his clothes and his whole body to reek of earth, like he was a corpse.
Oh shit,
like,
that's fucking
yeah,
dark.
like he was a dead man. It's really dark. His whole thing was that, like, he named himself Dead. He was basically like, I'm already dead. I'm already a corpse. That was his thing.
Do you think he was playing into the character, or like was he just messed up?
Personally, after what I'm going to tell you next, I think he was just messed up. So,
Okay.
like, even his friends said that he was really, really depressed. But one thing that really stands out as, like, wild in my mind is before going on stage, he would carry this dead crow in his jacket that he had been, like, had for weeks. And he would take it out before a show and, like, huff it, like, put his face into it and sniff it to, like...
Oh boy.
Yeah, right? Well, so
Oof.
picture this. There's this long-haired lad in, like, studded leathers and, like, has metal coming out of him and stuff. In all of this black and white corpse paint. Smells like a literal grave because he's been sleeping in dirt. And you see him, and out of his jacket, he takes a decaying crow and just sniffs it before going on stage.
And then puts it back in his pocket.
Puts it back in his pocket, goes out on stage, and starts cutting himself. Like, this dude was wild. He was out there.
Jesus. Did he say why he
right.
sniffed the crow? Like, was there any reasoning for it?
I think there was a reason behind it. I think it was just to, like, kind of embody the spirit of death, essentially. That was his big thing. He was like, I am dead. I'm already fucking dead. I'm a corpse, kind of crap.
He seems like a method artist or method.
Yes.
He's almost like a method actor. He sounds like the Jared Leto of the black metal scene, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that you're basically spot on there.
Yeah, also a little side note. I remember hearing the name Mayhem, and it's because they're playing the Academy in May.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are still going. They're still releasing stuff.
I might have to go and see what they're like.
See what it's like. Yeah. But
anyway, Sniffing Crows.
Sniffing Crows.
Sounds like a good band name.
That was Dead's kind of whole shtick. The story doesn't really end right there, but it does definitely have an ending. Dead has an ending. In 1991, the band was preparing to write and release a new record. So they bought a house in the Norwegian forests, basically, like miles away from fucking anywhere. So they could all live together, practice, rehearse, and record shit.
Hell yeah.
And there was one day where they left Dead in the house. I don't remember why they all left, but it was just him in the house, essentially.
Okay.
And Euronymous, sniffing his crows, yeah. Euronymous, the guy who owns the record store, who also played guitar in the band, he comes home to find Dead, literally dead, on the ground.
Oh no.
With his throat cut open and a shotgun wound to the head. And Jamie, what would you do if you found your band member on the ground, like with a shotgun wound to the head? It was clear that he's gone. What's your first thing? What do you do?
It's clear that he's dead on the floor, and I'm on my own. Just returned back to the house.
That's right. Yes.
I'd probably first think, this classic Dead. This is classic.
Yeah, he's just messing around again, that old rascal.
It's just him, this old man. Just give him a little kick. No, but seriously, you'd probably bounce, because if there's no shotgun in sight and he has a shotgun blast to the head, you're like, okay,
there is a shotgun. The shotgun's beside him.
Oh, so he killed himself then?
Yes.
Well, that's what it would look like anyway.
Yes.
Oh, but yeah, you'd report it, wouldn't you? I suppose.
So you just find a phone, call the police.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to.
Yeah, cool. That's not what Euronymous did. That was something.
What the fuck did this Euronymous bastard do?
There's someone who has sane of mind. That's what they do. No. What this dude did was he immediately ran to get a camera and
Oh, Jesus.
he arranged the body and the shotgun and like put some other artifact kind of things like in frame, and then took a photograph of his dead friend surrounded by his suicide weapon, and collected bits of his skull.
Jesus Christ.
And guess what he did with first off, guess what he did with the photograph. Just take a wild guess.
Like long term or immediately?
It was pretty immediate, but kind of long term, but at the same time.
What did he do with the photograph? My first thought was they use it as an album artwork.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That is
Hell yeah.
exactly what happened.
Well, no, that's wrong. That is wrong.
Their next EP was released. The album artwork was a picture of their old singer, who was like had his brains blown out and was like in frame, his like blown apart head. Like, yeah, great, well done, you got that right. What do you think he did with the bits of his friend's skull?
Kept them in his jacket to sniff them before a show.
Nice.
Out of respect.
What this bastard did was, allegedly, he collected bits of his friend's skull and sewn them to necklaces to give to his friends in the inner circle.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, man. It's
dudes pretty creative.
Do not fuck around.
But in a very wrong way, I guess. It's pretty creative. He just wanted to make some jewelry for the boys, but
make some jewelry for the lads. Yeah, man. So,
and they would have been friends. Like, how long were the band together at this point?
So
would have been friends.
They would have been friends. Yeah, they released their first EP, I believe, was in 1987 called Death Crush, and this was in like 1990, 1991. So they would have known each other for a while.
Yeah. Jesus.
But
I say that photo's still out, is it? Or around?
Oh yeah, easily. Type into YouTube. I forget what the actual album is called, but type in Mayhem Dead artwork. You should be able to find it easily.
Album cover. The Dawn of the Black Hearts.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Jesus.
Yeah, there it is. So it is. It's up on Google for anyone listening at home who wants to, who's feeling a bit, curious. It's there. You can find it.
Oh my god.
That's the reaction. All right. But that's a real man. That's a real corpse. How do you feel about
allowed?
that?
Do any shops did stores sell? I suppose if you're
your
probably
own
sold
store,
in hell
man.
anyway.
Yeah, so think about it. This lad, he owns his own shop. Who's gonna fucking stop him?
Oh, I just saw a little article that says a piece of this man's skull just sold for $3,500.
Oh my god, really?
So I'm guessing someone sold a piece of the skull.
Piece of the one of the necklaces, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
how old is this guy? He looks pretty young.
Is there young enough? I want to say he was 20, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't look that old at all.
Yeah, so all of this happened when these guys were in their like late teens, early 20s. It was a very, very young group. But yeah, so that was one death. Do you want to hear about another death, Jamie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
So there's this other guy. This is a horrible, disgusting one. But there was this guy called Faust, and he was not.
Wait, what do you mean?
Really
You just started this with this is a horrible, disgusting one. That last one wasn't. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, that last one was kind of sad. This one is just deplorable. This one is horrible.
Okay.
So there's this guy called Faust, and he was kind of more of an outspoken kind of like bastard, really. He didn't have the most politically correct views, let's say that much. And in this Norwegian place called Lillehammer, he was on the street and he found a gay man, and the two of them walked to a nearby park, and Faust stabbed him with a knife 37 times.
Jesus.
Yeah. So this was one of the members of the inner circle as well. He was very well known in the black metal scene, and outright just murdered a guy in a park for being a gay man.
Where was this? Did you say?
Lillehammer. So it's Lille Hammer. And again, if you type in like black metal Lillehammer, it should come up with the full story. But yeah, this guy went to jail, as you would expect. But
yes.
Guess when he went to jail, Jamie?
When?
Yeah.
I'd hope immediately, but the fact you're asking me, maybe not.
Yeah, he went to jail a full year later.
Fuck.
So after murdering this innocent man, he drove down back to Oslo to meet up with the rest of his inner circle friends. They went off the very next day to burn churches. And he told all of his inner circle friends that he had murdered a man in Lillehammer, and the rest of them were like, cool. I don't need to tell anyone about that. That's fucking metal, dude.
Yeah. Like a bro code or something. Like inner circle bro code.
Yeah, basically. So like all of those guys were essentially accessory to a crime, but like I don't think anything more came out of that, because like the rest of them, lots of them went to jail, but for different purposes. There was a string of like all of these lads going to jail for church burnings and the like. So on the subject of church burnings, that was a really big thing in the black metal scene in Norway. Scattered around Norway, or where I should probably say, there probably is still lots of them, but these beautiful, beautiful handcrafted like sculptures, essentially. These churches were beautiful, and they're ancient as well. Some of them are from like over 1,000 years ago, and these lads, they took it upon themselves to be like, no, we're going back to our pagan roots. Christianity should be stripped from Norway, and this is how we're going to do it. And they went around burning churches. So yeah, there was.
That's.
What were you going to say?
Like, it is like, it's a shocking thing for modern day, but when you think about it, like that was literally done, as you said, in pagan times when like the Vikings and stuff, and obviously these guys being Norwegian, they obviously want to take after their Viking roots.
Their
and
ancestors.
Fuck Christianity, let's fucking burn it.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Lots of them are very nationalistic and proud of their Viking heritage and things like that. So that was a big driver behind lots of these church burnings. It was also to promote their music in an insane way. So the newspapers and stuff like that would write all these stories about the black metal Satanists, terrorists burning down churches, and then they would name the kind of people who they thought it was. So people would be like, hey, this is kind of cool. I'm gonna go out and buy their record, see what this is about.
Yeah, fair. It's like any publicity is good publicity kind of thing.
Yeah, so there was a Norwegian newspaper. Let's see if I can find what they were called. Okay, I can't find who it was. But anyway, they had an interview with a Norwegian newspaper with this character, Varg Vikernes, who was the solo member of Burzum. And they were interviewing him, and he was just like, yeah, no, I burned all of those churches. That was me. I feel nothing bad about it. We're doing this to spread the word of hate and evil within our country and take it back from its Christians and all this shit. And the newspaper put up a picture of him, like he's holding two knives in his face, dressed up in all of this leather and like spikes gear. But yeah, his face is just right there. He's like, yeah, I did this. What are you gonna fucking do about it? Put me in the newspaper. Like,
Jesus, they just didn't give a fuck.
The nuts on that one. But yeah, so puts himself in the newspaper, committing like, saying that he's committed all these crimes, and then it's just like, yeah, don't give a shit about it. What are you gonna fucking do?
Would they would any have died in the church when this happened, or would it probably be in the middle of the night kind of thing?
I think they were nighttime burnings because they wanted to see like the flames properly, like in the nighttime. Kind of goes hand in hand also with that whole imagery of like, oh, Satan dudes running around at nighttime.
I found a cool photo, and I think it was a screenshot from a documentary. Yeah, here it is. Lords of Chaos, BBC.
Lords of Chaos, yes. Yeah. That's one of the documentaries, alright.
A film or something. Yeah, it's a cool screenshot of, it's like people posing in front of a church burning. I don't know if it's like posed or if this is just they had a film crew follow a fucking black metal band around or something.
But yeah.
Good
so
Lord.
Jamie, if you look up Fantov Stave Church, have you sent me a photograph there? Yeah, so Fantov Stave Church was this church in Norway, absolutely beautiful, from like 700 AD, something mad, like ancient. And
Fantoft Stave Church?
Fantoft?
Yeah.
Stave Church. Do you get pictures of that?
Have it here.
Yeah. So the ones that you're probably looking like are the reconstructions, because that was fucking burned to the ground. They these lads just were like, a historical artifact? No. Don't care. Christian. Down a coast.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you guys look up pictures of this thing, it is beautiful from like
it's really cool.
That long ago. But yeah. So that was
they reconstructed that on the same site?
Many. Yes. If you look on Wikipedia, there's a list of all of the church burnings. There's like 40. The list just keeps going.
Poor Norway, like.
Yeah,
the Norwegian
right.
people were probably terrified.
They were, definitely. It was like they were. The media was spreading it around as well, being like satanic terrorists are gonna kill you and your babies and burn down your house and all of this shit.
See, that's the thing. If they were trying to be like their Viking roots, but they also were openly like, would they have been worshipping Satan?
They said they were. Whether you believe it or not is one of those things. Like lots of them came out and be like, no, that's fucking stupid. I'm like, what's the word, like Odinist, something to do with like all Norse pagan stuff.
Yeah, the Norse gods, like.
And then there's some other guys who came out and were just like, yeah, Satan. So there's an interview with the lead vocalist of Gorgoroth back in like 2000 or something, and he's getting interviewed, and the question is, where do you get all of your inspiration for? Like, what drives you? And he looks the camera like fucking dead in the eye. It doesn't say anything for about 5 to 7 seconds, and then just goes, Satan.
Oh my god.
It's so good. There's a YouTube clip of it. I'll send you it later. It's hilarious. You can actually probably splice it into this episode because it is really, really funny.
Okay, yeah. Throw it in somewhere.
I'd like to start by just you telling us what is the primary ideology or primary ideas that fuel Gorgoroth's music.
Satan. But yeah, so going
back, these guys make Slipknot look like pussies.
Oh yeah, man. In comparison, like Slipknot are like they're crazy on stage and stuff, but like when
nice
they go
guys,
home, they just go home.
Yeah,
they don't go out doing horrible shit.
Yeah, because like they'd be a band that people would look at and be like, oh, they look awful, or like they look scary.
Exactly.
And, they must hate everyone and all this shit, but they're fine.
Exactly.
They're just
dudes
out there. But then you see these bands that actually were going out, expressing hatred and all that shit.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oof.
But yeah, and just after that before that newspaper article, where Varg Vikernes says he committed all of these church burnings, something else happened. Would you believe it's another death?
Okay. Oh god.
So we go back to Euronymous, the guy who owned Helvete, the store.
Your man who took the photo, right?
Your man who took the photo, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's just, it's like a fucking Saturday night or something. He's in his apartment just chilling, and he gets a knock on the door, and he opens the door to find Varg Vikernes, the guy from Burzum, who was the bass player in his band as well. So they would have been friends. They would have known each other.
Yeah.
And an altercation occurs, resulting in Euronymous being stabbed 23 times.
God.
Do you want to know where the stabbings were, Jamie? Because I have that information.
Yeah, go on. Are they all in the same place?
No, they're not. So to me, this kind of looks like a struggle almost. So he gets stabbed twice in the head, five to the neck, and then 16 times in the back.
Oh my god.
By his supposed friend, this guy who's also a member of this inner circle, and his bandmate. Do you want to take some
Burzum
guesses? Burzum guy has killed Euronymous. Yes.
Jeez.
Do you want to take a wild guess? Give me some like why did he do this? Like, there's no definite answer, by the way. There's only some speculation. So whatever you say, you might be right.
Okay. What year was this?
This was in 1994, I believe. Or
So this is like
1990. Hold on. 1993. So it happened on the 10th of August, 1993.
This was like 2 or 3 years after the other guy
Yes.
shot himself or whatever.
Yeah.
Why was this? Were they still in the band together?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh god, I don't even know. Like, to be honest, I have no idea what could have been the reason for these guys.
Allegedly, this guy Varg
Banging his
Vikernes,
girlfriend.
he went to kill this guy Euronymous because he thought that Euronymous was going to kill him.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Just fully paranoid.
It gets plot twisty and paranoid and insane. But as we've already seen, Euronymous is pretty unhinged himself, like taking a photograph of his dead friend and like taking his skull and shit like that. So Varg thought that Euronymous was going to kidnap him, drive him into the woods, tie him to a tree, and videotape him murdering him, and then use that as publicity for his music.
But this wasn't confirmed.
This was not confirmed. This is what Varg says.
Oh yeah, sure, it couldn't be confirmed because the guy died.
Because
Obviously.
he's dead. Yes.
Fucking hell. Like, this just sounds like... This makes me think that they were on drugs. Because, like, how could you be so paranoid of such a specific plan? Unless it was told to him, being like, oh, someone told me that this is what his plan was.
I think the thing was that he had overheard Euronymous telling someone that. I think that was how he got into his head.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what he says.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, man.
Like, maybe that photo for the album artwork, like, well, it got a lot of fucking attention and it blew up, so maybe he wanted to recreate that.
Yeah, maybe. Exactly. That's the thing. There's no right answer to this. They still don't have a definite answer. All they know is that Varg knocked on his apartment door and he killed the dude. That's as far as the fact goes.
Did he go to prison for it?
Yes, he did. He went to prison for murder and for 3 convicted arsons of churches. He definitely did way more, but they have the proof and the evidence for 3. So
Yeah.
he was given the maximum sentence in Norway, which is 21 years. It's not that much. Norway is pretty lax on justice systems, but yeah.
But isn't a life sentence technically 15 years or something like that, or is it more?
Something like that, yeah. But so there's a whole thing about when he was given the life sentence. There's a hilarious clip on YouTube. So the whole court case was filmed, and it was broadcast on TV because it was such a big like news media event.
Yeah.
So if you go onto YouTube and you can find the exact moment when he's sentenced, and the judge basically goes, "You are given 21 years in prison," and Varg turns to the camera and smiles. He gives this little like smirk at the camera. It is psychotic.
Oh my god. And you really like this guy. Well, you like his music, sorry.
I love the music. The guy is not nice at all.
How do you spell his name? Varg?
Varg. And then just type in Burzum and you'll find him.
Varg Vikernes. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, what were you going to say there?
I was going to say I do not like the guy at all. He is verging on like Nazism. He's very like anti anyone who isn't white. Has all that kind of shit going for him. But his music is devoid of any of his political stuff, thankfully.
Okay.
So for me, it is a lot of, can you separate the art from the artist kind of thing? And I would argue probably, because his music is written about Norse mythology and Lord of the Rings. That's what his music is about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, there's some photos of this guy who he looks really like a wrestler, Daniel Bryan.
Oh, really? I don't know the wrestler. I don't know him.
Yeah. Is he still going? He's only 48. Oh shit, he's actually pretty young.
Yeah. As I said, this all happened when they were in their very early 20s.
Yeah. Sheesh. Oh, he was in Mayhem as well.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Sorry,
he was the bassist.
He was there for a year. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So
there
speaking
for a
of
year.
him being in Mayhem, Jamie, after Euronymous' death and Varg's sentencing in 1994, Mayhem came out with the album De Mysteris Dom Satanas, which basically translates to The Mysteries of Satan in Latin.
Okay.
And they have Varg on bass and Euronymous on guitar on that album. So there's literally Murderer and Murdered on the same album playing together.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, right?
So that would have been obviously. Did they record it together or did they record the parts separately? Like, they would have recorded the album all together just before he was killed.
Yes, as far as I'm aware, they like recorded it as a band together. And
Jesus.
after the murder and the release of the album, Euronymous' family like asked Mayhem to re-record the bass lines, get someone else to record it. I don't want my son's killer on the same album that he's playing on. And the drummer, this guy called Hellhammer, went, "No." What are you talking about? No, they're staying on. Fuck that. He was like, I think it's kind of beautiful that there's murder and murdered on the same album.
Yeah. So are most of this band like still originals?
No.
No.
In Mayhem, they had a huge roster change, like constantly. I think the only person to remain in Mayhem since the original is Hellhammer, the drummer. Everyone else has changed. They went through like 5 or 6 vocalists.
Dead Euronymous Necro Butcher. Jesus.
Necro Butcher is the bassist.
Attila Sehar.
Yeah, I can't pronounce any of their names. I don't know how to pronounce Russian. Norwegian.
There's been 12 members overall.
Yeah, and speaking of their albums and specifically De Mysteris Dom Satanas, if you look at the album artwork, it is a picture of a, would you believe, Norwegian cathedral. And with black metal, they do a lot of their... like they kind of, I don't want to say hints, but they leave lots of stuff in their artwork. So allegedly they used this cathedral because they had planned to blow it up on the same day as releasing the album.
Oh fuck.
And also there is, if you look up the EP Ask, ASKE by Burzum, it is a picture of a burnt down church. Like it's just literally the standing timbers. That's all that's left.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it now.
And that is a church that Varg burnt down. And he was like, fuck it, I'm going to use it as my album cover.
Oh my god. It seems like these guys just wanted to use... They just wanted to get the best album cover they could.
Yeah.
And like...
Yeah, they'd do anything for it.
They'd literally do anything. Well, I don't know. Maybe the whole burning down stuff was just like, okay, yeah, we hate Christianity and fuck that. And they're like, oh, that looks kind of sick. I'm going to use that as an album cover. But then it's a whole other level if you walk in and your friend who just killed himself, you're like, you know what? If I move this here, put the shotgun this way, and have him laying like that, oh, perfect. Framing's just right. Take a photo.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked.
Yep. That's so fucked.
That's just...
But I think that's most of the stuff that I wanted to tell you, Jamie, about a scene that I was fascinated by as a teenager. There you
Would
go.
you have been big
There
into
you
the
go.
history of it then, or just the music though?
Huge into the history. I loved
Okay.
It was so fascinating to me that this is a thing that happened with the music scene. Like, what the fuck? Why? Why was this a part of it?
I can't even think of any crazy like music scene related shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's probably the craziest thing I've heard anyway, related to music anyway.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But there you go. What do you make of that?
That was a nice fun episode.
It was very fun. Yeah.
It's very interesting though. Like these
Mm-hmm.
people were obviously some of them are still going.
Yeah.
It seems like your man Varg is, I don't know if he's making music, but he's still like, it looks like he's recording YouTube videos or something in his van.
Yeah, so Varg released 2 or 3 albums in prison. He was allowed to have a synthesizer and released all of this weird ambient music. And then he was released in 2008. And in 2010, he released another black metal album and then released like 3 more.
Shit.
Yeah, which blew my mind back in the day because it was 2010 and this guy who I had like started listening to releases an album after like a black metal album after like the first time since the 90s, and I was like, holy shit, and I bought it and I was like, this is fucking sick, man.
Oh, you liked it? It was good?
Oh, I loved it. So I still will listen to it sometimes.
Yeah. Fuck.
But yeah, I think after this, Jamie, I'm gonna send you some stuff just so because you don't know what any of this music sounds like.
I feel like I may have flicked it on once or twice, but yeah, give me a little taster.
I'll give you some tasters, all right.
Do you know who I might do a little case study on? Just because this actually, I thought of something crazy during the episode. I was like,
oh yeah,
this reminds me of something else. That's it's not as dark as this, but it's still pretty crazy. And I know you would know a bit about it as well, so it might be interesting to do an episode on the boy himself, G.G. Allen.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, G.G. Allen. I was about to say it when you were like, I don't know any other crazy thing. I was just like, G.G. Allen kind of goes there a little bit.
Yeah, he was just more insane. He didn't have a purpose. Like,
no,
well, he kind of did, I guess.
He just wanted to pervert things and people.
Yeah, he did. Like, I think I've seen many interviews where he was just like, yeah, no, I do it because everyone hates it, so fuck everyone. Like,
yeah.
That would be good. Fair enough.
Yeah, good. That'd be great. Because I know lots about that too. So we could definitely delve into that. I'd love that.
Yeah, I'm liking this music stuff. Like, I enjoyed the Paul McCartney stuff we looked into.
Mm-hmm.
This was cool, and then I think G.G. Allen could be another good one.
I'm down.
We'll have
down.
We'll have to try and think of some happy music related content as well. No,
I'm not down with that. No, yes, that would be fun.
Yeah, that's not interesting.
Well,
I think the craziest thing I took away from this is your man who fucking slept with dirt and sniffed crows before going on stage just to feel dead.
just to be a corpse. That was his
Just
thing.
to be a corpse. He had to live up
Oh.
to his character, I suppose.
Jamie, that's one more thing that I forgot to mention. So, myself and Jamie played a year-long campaign of this role-playing game called Morkborg, which is a Swedish game that's inspired by black metal and doom metal and stuff. And would you believe it is dedicated to Pelle Olsen, dead, the guy who blew his brains out.
Really?
Yeah. There's a little footer note on one of the pages that said Morkborg is dedicated to Pelle Olsen.
Jesus.
Or Olin.
Damn.
I think his name's Olin.
That's kind of cool.
But yeah, there you go. It is cool, isn't it?
Dead vocalist. Let me. So wait, well. So the creators are Swedish. I suppose that means it's based on black metal, not based, but like inspired by black metal.
It's heavily influenced. Yeah.
Per Ingve Olin is his name. If I pronounce that right, I don't know.
I can't pronounce it. I fucking know, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a nice little fun fact.
It's a nice little fun fact for you there.
Hell
when
yeah.
doing all this research again, I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, I'm pretty sure there's something to do with this in Morkborg, but what the hell is it? And then I was flicking through the pages, and I was like, oh, there it is.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Grim,
There we have
but
it.
cool.
Grim but cool. So there you go, Jamie. I've had a great time discussing going down nostalgia lane for me.
Yeah, I learned a lot about both black metal and you here.
Fair enough.
That's a fuck thing to be researching when you're 13 years old, in fairness. But
It is, most definitely.
it's not surprising to be like curious about all that shit as well. Not about you, I just mean in general.
Totally. As a kid, you're fascinated by all of this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was very eager. I shouldn't have been, but I was very eager to see if that album cover was still around. So it shows that I'm still a bit fucked up as well.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It's morbidly fascinating is the term, I think.
I think that's that's gonna be the name of the episode. Morbidly fascinating.
Morbidly fascinating. I like that. I'm down.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
But that is cool. Yeah, nice one.
Well, we're at 119 nearly, so I don't think we've any palate cleansers. So
I think we'll just fucking call it there.
yeah, let's call it then.
Nice.
Stop.
Stop.